But Brian, on the show today, I want to come to you first. What do you make of the Chinese military exercises and live firing drills ahead of Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan? And what's the latest? Is she visiting?
First of all, thanks for having me. But I think what the military drilling actually illustrates is that Chinese repertoire to responding to the Pelosi visit is actually somewhat limited. For example, it was expected that China would step up air incursions or military exercises or naval drilling in response to Pelosi's visit because of the fact that this is what China has done in the past. However, this time around, what I think is notable is that China has not actually escalated the air incursions into Taiwan's air defense identification zone, that is the area in which aircraft are obligated to identify themselves, where they're from, where they're going, their nation, that sort of thing. And that has actually not really been stepped up before the Pelosi visit. This is usually how China tries to hit back quickly against U.S. diplomatic visits to Taiwan under the Trump administration or the Biden administration. And so I think the fact that it's not done that is actually a sign of how it doesn't have a lot of ways to respond. It can respond the usual ways, stepping up drilling and military threats and that sort of thing, but I don't think it actually responds too well with the Chinese public.
Okay. In our Tangen, prepare for war. The PLA's 80th group message on Chinese social media platform Weibo. Now, is that a signal ahead of Nancy Pelosi's proposed visit to Taiwan, or is this just a regular 95th anniversary of PLA message?
Yeah,
well, it is the 91st anniversary. I mean, it was, 8/1 is the day. It just happens to be in the background of, or the foreground of Nancy Pelosi's ill-timed visit to Taiwan, if she goes. We still don't know for certain. Rumors are swirling. Obviously, she's relishing the attention with 70% or almost 70% of Americans with their primary concern about inflation, cost of living. She's decided that the best way for her to do domestic politics is to go abroad and look tough on China by going to Taiwan and try to take that political card away from the Republicans. She's playing with fire. I don't know why she thinks domestic politics trumps statesmanship, but that's her outlook.
Okay. So this prepare for war message is not a signal to the United States, in your view, in our Tangen?
It is a very, very strong signal. I don't think there's any question that the PLA, the party, and the leadership see this as a tantamount close to an act of war. Remember, in 1973, the whole basis of the U.S.-China relationship was the one China policy. It resulted in Taiwan being removed from the United Nations and de facto decertified as an independent country. You can't walk away from that. You can't say, oh, we didn't mean it.
Okay.
That is the basis of it. So at this juncture, yes, this is seriously undermining the very beginning of the relationship and therefore could result in a complete fracture between China and the U.S., military or economic or both.
That's a big point you're making, that this could lead to a fracture when it comes to U.S.-China ties, military or economic. General Pannu, what do you make of reports of the live-firing drills by China off the coast of Taiwan and the message of the PLA's 80th group, the move to the east, prepare for war?
Well, you don't celebrate anniversaries like this by making maneuvers, but largely what is happening in the world is known to everybody that China takes advantage of the global disturbance as it took after COVID. It attacked certain posts on the Indian territory and also made maneuvers elsewhere. Waiting in the wings now is that as the Ukraine-Russia conflict is maturing, I suppose there is now a muscle flexing and signaling which is going on. I think it is a political, diplomatic, and military posturing to the secondary and the primary arcs. And primary arc being for the China-Taiwan. And Taiwan, really speaking, is equivalent to Ukraine, as Ukraine is to Russia. Taiwan is more or less to China. Okay. And if the Western world is concentrating in the South China Sea and Taiwan. I suppose that is the contest which they're having, but I think both are testing waters. Both have domestic constituencies to answer. Both are undermining each other's military and political and diplomatic dominance in this area. But I think both are trying to muscle flex in all the fields of political, diplomatic, and military understanding of
We are watching those images of military muscle flexing by China right now, live firing, and a lot of images. Of course, as of now, they're unverified, live firing drills being carried out. Some of these images have been put out by the Chinese government itself, by the armed forces themselves. But Brian Hioe, Taiwan had also conducted some military drills and some bomb drills last week. So what's the buzz in Taiwan? Is there an apprehension that Nancy Pelosi's visit could lead to an escalation of Chinese hostilities and the violation of Chinese fighter jets? You know, you were saying that ADIZ or Air Defense Identification Zone violations usually increase. They haven't just now. But is there an apprehension not only will those violations increase, China could actually fly its fighter jets over Taiwan?
So intrusive Taiwan's air defense identification zone actually take place quite far from Taiwan. As a result, when there is this kind of military drilling, there's usually not a response from Taiwan. The military responds only if the air fighters cross the median line of the Taiwan Straits usually. But from the general public, there's not a response. There's more focus usually on celebrity gossip, dash cam footage, sex scandals, and that sort of thing. The domestic media cycle goes on. And that is actually also true of the Pelosi visit.
Okay.
I think that threats from China have gone on so long against Taiwan that there actually is not a lot of alarm regarding even the Pelosi visit. And so I think that is one way in which Western perceptions of what is going on in Taiwan really need to speak more to local voices, or what is occurring on the ground here, or how Taiwanese perceive these threats that are directed at Taiwan.
Okay.